Hey guys, Jack from Mx5 Modified, and I'm going to be fitting another aero mod to my car today. I am going to be fitting these front fender top vents that go just above wheel arch. These are from Cockroach Concepts. These are 3D printed, really nice quality. I know a lot of people do sand these down and paint them, but I don't mind the 3D printed effect on it. It kind of reminds me of the carbon forged bonnet I've got in the light. So I'll be keeping these as they are for now. If I do want to paint them, I'm going to make it so I can take these off when I want. I'm going to silicone them in, but I should be able to cut the silicone and then be able to pull them out whenever I need to. But yeah, I'm going to be making these functional as well, because you can just do it where you just chop the front wing out and just stick them in, then they're not functional. You need to chop the wheel arch liner out, so then the high pressure that builds up is let out. I'm going to show you now the reasons why and how these are going to be effective to stopping front end lift. So, what happens when you're driving along? Wheels going around this way. You've got air coming from the front, coming round the wheel, around the front arch, coming from the underside where the splitter is, coming up into the wheel well, air spilling in. Inside is all turbulent air. It's not clean air. All gets stuck around here because it's got nowhere to go. Coming from the underside, like I said, or coming from the front, spilling out. So what you end up getting is you're getting a high pressure zone on the underside, underneath where the wheel arch liner is, on the top of the wheel. Now what this causes a lift. Front end pushing up, low pressure zone on top, which is pulling it up, high pressure zone underneath, lifting it up. Now the idea of these is when you've cut this out, you've cut the wheel arch liner out, all the high pressure that's building up here expels out and comes out of these straight out. That means that there's no high pressure zone anymore and it's lowering the pressure, which then should stop front lift. That's the theory behind it. These haven't been tested, so I'm going to be doing the Tuft Method by putting some tufts of wool on and seeing what the airflow is like. If you can see air coming outwards, how it is round it, going over the bonnet. So that's going to be really interesting to do as well, to see how that is. One of the other things you can do is, because I have got front splitter diffusers, is it's coming up behind the wheel. Of course, causing a lot of turbulent air, it's got nowhere to escape. So this should help as well with letting a bit of the air out from where the splitter diffuser lets the air come in. What I'm also thinking about doing is a lot of people cut these and then fold it in. So then the air comes from the rear, comes round, and then exit this way. That should help out as well. So I will be doing that in the future, but it's mainly getting these fit today. Mainly for the looks. I think these look great, they really do. So I'm mainly fitting them for looks, but it'd be nice if it does have some benefit to them when it comes to aero, because I'm trying to make this car more aerodynamical, especially with front splitters now, chassis mounted, split diffusers in. I've put the wing at a better angle, so I am going to be testing that as well to see what the air's like around it, if it's sticking to it or if it's detaching anywhere, and just to see what it's like, just a bit of an experiment. So I'll be doing the same with these as well to see what it's like. So yeah, let's get onto this, guys, and get this fit. First of all, I'm going to tape it up first with some masking tape. You're then given some instructions of whereabouts you need to mark to cut. So got key point references here, following the line that goes across. 13.25 and 14.25. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to mark around it. Need to chop a bit more out of the back, because if you might follow that line, no good. You need to follow that line around here. So you need to go back a little bit further. You have got a little bit of play either side, so if I did need to adjust it a little bit to make sure it's perfect, that's how it could be done. So I'll take a little bit more off the back edge. That's now in. Perfect. That is really snug. Probably won't even have to cut any more out. As you can see, that's now cut out. I have gone through the real arch lining, which don't matter because I'm cutting that out anyway. Plus I want to cut straight down. So I've got a tool I can use for that. And that's why I have jacked the wheel up as well. Just so then I'm definitely going to miss it. There we go, see straight through now. And then when I do put this on, it's nice and snug. There you go, you can see straight up. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put some mesh on this underside, so then no stones can get thrown up into it. Mark out around this and give it a little bit more, then just sit on top and stick it down. Sand down these sharp edges as well. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to stick it in. I'll have a load of silicone on. Stick it all in on the plastic, and when I get round to it, when I do eventually take front wing off, I'm then going to screw it through or bolt it through, so it's definitely not going to move. So now this is all being bent and curved so it fits in here perfectly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the silicone seal in and then just stick it down. So that is it, all stuck in, and then from the underside as well. Once that's set, that shouldn't move, it's not going to really have any pressure on it. And then now I can just, I mean these do just kind of sit in nicely. But I think I'll still put a little bit of silicone on, just stick them down. Or even double-sided tape. I mean, it's really flush. Yeah, I'll just put a bit of silicone on, put a little bead round, then stick it down. I'm well chuffed with how these have turned out. They look great, quality's great. Even them not being sanded down and painted, they still look really good. And with the mesh as well, so you're definitely stopping rocks from coming up and smashing these out, because I've seen them before where these have been smashed out because a rock or something has come up through the wheel well and boom, smashed it out. So at least now that mesh will stop it. And even though these do look great, they also serve a purpose as well. So I'm going to be trying it, I'm going to put the tufts on and see if we can see air coming through and see what the difference is, because I haven't done that side yet, so I might just leave it for now, do that side later, but do the tufts on either side so we can just see what the airflow is like going over it and at that side. Of course, can't really test the airflow in the wheel well, don't know how I'd do that, but I can test it on these on the outside so we can just see what happens and see what it's like, and I'm really excited to do that. I'll put the link for everything down in the description, for the vents, for the mesh I got. The mesh we got from Amazon, really cheap. So you can as well. And what I used were a jigsaw and a multi-tool to be able to cut them out, and also a drill to be able to drill the first hole to be able to get the multi-tool in, you get the jigsaw in. What I was going to do is, if the jigsaw didn't touch where the wheel arch liner was, or if a bit of a bigger gap, what I was going to do was I was going to drill. So once I've cut the top layer out, drill in all four corners, so then I know exactly where it needs to be. And then I just go with a grind from the underside, take the wheel off, go for a grind from the side so you can get a nice perfect cut. Now it doesn't sit flush on the underside, there's ups and downs, so I just cut a few bits which were the upstands, cut them off so it's a bit more flush, and then I just had to bend the mesh around it to be able to make it fit. What I did was I cut some tufts of wool at 2 inches long and I stuck it down with some masking tape. I did this all around the vent as well as on the top and inside the vents. Not much happens at low speeds, but as you get up to 30 miles per hour you can see the air being released towards the rear of the vent. I was very surprised this low of a speed that the vent was releasing the air. You can see with the tuft at the front that it's not moving and it's still facing in a backwards direction. This is attached floor. While these two closest to us have got a bit of a wiggle on them, which means that the floor is not as clean. You can see the air being released at the front, but the tufts is not stuck up as much due to the air coming over the front of the car. These tufts to the rear of the vent, you can see that they're very frayed and they are wiggling side to side a lot. This is caused by detached flow. With the angle of the tuft coming out of the rear of the vent, this suggests that the air is trying to stay attached to the arch. I've really enjoyed doing this experiment. It really does show how the airflow is affected by different mods that you do to your car. I'll also be testing this on my splitter and my wing and all other parts of the car. Thanks for watching guys, please like and subscribe for more Mx5 content.